Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and now I'm going to go over all this Facebook stuff that I've been seeing in the news. Today, for those of you that don't know, today Facebook put out its white paper. So here you're looking at, this is from Sergeant Obi-Wan, and he's sending out a Cointelegraph article, and it says the white paper's out. And so Facebook has released the white paper, which is basically a paper that describes their new cryptocurrency or digital asset that they call Libra. Okay, and so I'm going to try to go through. I found some pretty interesting things. Now, the second thing that came out today, and this is from BondCrypt at BondCrypt, Facebook has totally unveiled the details of its new cryptocurrency Libra, but it has also announced the launch of a digital wallet, Calibra. So the digital wallet is going to be called Calibra. That it is targeted at 3.8 billion people around the world without a formal bank account. And then he adds this: Calibra is a new digital wallet for a new global currency. The wallet will be available in Messenger, WhatsApp, and standalone app, available in 2020. So that was interesting too. And next, XRP Crypto Wolf, as he does very often, did the perfect summary of all of this. Facebook's cryptocurrency is called Libra, and this is the website, libra.org. Libra white paper, he's got a link to that. So go in here, he's at XRP Crypto. Mobile wallet, Calibra. And then Facebook's cryptocurrency, Libra, has so much info, so read this thread by Larry from the block. And so here's a summary from this Larry guy that's from the block, which is a news outlet. And then Crypto Wolf adds this: low volatility, governed by nonprofit, plans to transition to permissionless, pseudo-anonymous transactions. Libra's reserves, STOs, costs to run a node, FinCEN registered entity, regulations 2020 launch. And so he's got attached the 10 most important things you need to know about Facebook's digital asset. Okay, so that's a great place for you to start if you want to go and read in depth into any of these things. Well, then, and this I didn't understand, because usually Anthony Pompliano is not he doesn't try to start stuff like this, but this kind of surprised me. He says Facebook is rumored to launch their cryptocurrency Libra tomorrow, which many believe could render Ripple XRP useless. Ripple not going down without a fight. They just agreed to invest $50 million in MoneyGram to accelerate adoption. The token wars are upon us. And then Galgatron, who is this is a definite follow in the XRP community, brilliant guy, at Galgatron. And he says, Libra, the single greatest threat to your beloved Bitcoin, and you're talking about how it threatens XRP. And I can promise you that Pompliano is not going to want to get down in the dirt with Galgatron, because this guy, it would not be an easy guy to argue with. If you want to read some really good things and you're not offended by bad language, Galgatron is really smart, but you have to take the bad language with how smart he is. So I think that you can all take it. Go to galgatron.net. He has his own blog, and he tells you all about, he has some really good things on Bitcoin and the flaws and different things. And he knows what he's talking about. I can promise you that. And I know, as I've said before, Anthony Pompliano is a closet XRP guy. One day, and write this down, folks, one day before it's over, I'm going to go to one of these blockchain conferences. I'm going to buy Anthony Pompliano a beer, or maybe 2 or 3, and I'm going to get him to admit to me. Now, I may not come out publicly and say it if he tells me to keep it in confidence, but I'm going to find out that he's an XRP closet guy and that he's got a real big bag of XRP, because I know he does. It's in my gut. I think that he's got to toe this Bitcoin line, but I don't think that he is anti-XRP or anything. I think that he knows that XRP is going to be huge. Okay, Next, this is from Yeshua Taylor, Taylor at Yeshua. This is interesting. Proof of work doesn't work. And this is from the Libra white paper right here. And you can't see it as good there. To facilitate agreement among all validator nodes on the transactions to be executed and the order in which they are executed, the Libra blockchain adopted the BFT approach by using the Libra BFT consensus protocol. Now, I wonder why Libra didn't. The way I read that is that they will be using a consensus method. Who else uses consensus? XRP. I wonder why they did not use proof of work and mining for the Libra digital asset. Well, the reason they didn't is because they know that it's defective. That's the reason. And so this person may have the tweet of the day. Okay, next. I did this today. I tweeted this out, and this is my stance on Libra, because I'm looking at this the way I look at it, which is from an investor standpoint, and the fact that there is going to be no competition from Libra in terms of investment dollars. I said, how long will it take your friends and family to sell their stable, remember Libra's a stable coin, their stable Libra Facebook's coin into Bitcoin, XRP, etc. when the crypto market takes off and they are watching double and triple digit gains from the stable sidelines? And it's so true. While these other digital assets are going to be flying and going up in price, nobody's going to sit there and the only people that are going to stay in Libra coin are going to be the ones that are using it to pay for things. But my contention is that there are very few people who are using digital assets to pay for things. Now, they may use some of these, like Libra, to do that. They're not going to use the ones that have tremendous potential and appreciation. Those are not going to be used for like payments on Facebook. I mean, that's not the payments on Facebook. Yeah, Libra will be used for that. But the second that investment dollars are going somewhere, it's not going to Libra. It's going to be going to things like XRP or Bitcoin, things that can appreciate. That's just the way it is. Next, this is from Diane B. at Living with Passion. And she sent me this. This is the Binance take on all this. They did a little video on this. If you want to go look at it, it's in the Binance thread. All you need to know about Facebook's new global cryptocurrency, Libra, in 90 seconds. So will you use Libra token? All right. Okay, next. Now, moving along, I'm into some other things now. Nathan Crake, the true NDK. This is interesting because you're going to start to see more and more of this. A look at the emerging trend of neobanks in Australia. Neobanks is something that you are going to become very familiar with, and Australia is kind of at the cutting edge. A neobank is a completely digital bank that is created to work on digital and mobile platforms. Such banks do not use any existing legacy systems to operate. They do not use any digital operating systems or physical infrastructure that is already being used by existing financial institutions in Australia. Being completely online, these banks do not have any brick and mortar location or branches. The benefits of neobanking include transparency with fewer surprise charges and penalty rates, low costs due to less maintenance fees, useful technology, and easier loan approval. Such banks offer the following services: payment and money transfer services, checking and savings accounts, loans from individuals and businesses, other services like budgeting help, and more. You are not going to have physical brick and mortar banks in the next, say, I don't know how long it'll take, 5 to 20 years, but this is big, folks, and it's happening in Australia right now. Let me get rid of that one. Okay. I just thought this was an interesting little tweet, and I'd read it to you. From XRPist at @A_Australia 22, $10,000 at 30 cents XRP, so you get 33,333 XRP. At 45 cents, you get 22,222 XRP. And at $1, you get 10,000 XRP. So what? When you sell at $10, first one, you'll get $333,000. Second one, you'll get $222,000. Last one, you'll get $100,000. Same money invested at different time, but reward is hugely different too. Exactly. Okay, At Brian Melancholy XRP at Mike Honcho _11 sent me this. And this, I believe, folks, like a lot of people yesterday were like, oh, XRP price moved a little bit, but not much. I believe that is because of these type of things. I believe that these policymakers are literally within the next month to 2 or 3 months away from having some standards in place. And that, I believe, is when you're going to really start to see utility prices increase from utility with XRP. Policymakers meet to finalize global crypto guidance. A look at standards G20 supports. And this is a link. I'm not going to go into this, but this is the FATF. And this, I believe this is ground zero for the final thing that's going to change the entire world with digital assets. Okay, this was cool too right here. Bittrex international announcement that it will be expanding the operation of its digital trading platform for qualified customers to Liechtenstein. And this is cool, folks. I've talked about Liechtenstein a lot in the past. I'm not going to go into this article, but I do want you to go, when you have some free time, and Google Liechtenstein finance and do a little bit of reading on Liechtenstein. Liechtenstein and Switzerland are literally in history. Those two countries are where the billionaires and eventually soon trillionaires go to create family foundations and to put money, large sums of money. And so it's not a coincidence that you're seeing these companies go. We've seen Binance go to Liechtenstein. We've seen they've got an LCX exchange over there. Liechtenstein is one of the many places. There's another place in Switzerland. Someone told me I was saying it. I called it Zug, Switzerland. I think it's Zug. I think they said it's Zug, Switzerland, but that's another place where a lot of development in crypto and digital assets is happening, and it's happening because those countries are favorable to the world's wealthy and elite to go put money in their banks and financial institutions. That's why crypto is heading there. Okay, poor Brad Garlinghouse has all kinds of different Twitter names that have popped up around his name. XRP Garlic Brad at Officer Quagmire sent me this. And this is Facebook, Federal Reserve, MoneyGram, e-cigarettes, 5 things you must know. Now, the only reason I wanted to show you this is because they're covering the Facebook digital currency, but they're also in this article. Look at all these ads. In this article, they're also showing you the Ripple, and they're talking about XRP. And this is on the street, folks. We have arrived to traditional finance. That's the main reason I wanted to show you this. XRP and digital assets more and more are beginning to pop up on some of these traditional financial outlets. I'm about to show you another one. X-Men XRP at XRP 33. Now, New York Times. See, remember, we said that Facebook, everybody at first said, oh, Facebook's going to kill Bitcoin. Facebook's going to kill XRP. No, Facebook is going to bring online all of those average Joe investors and people that laughed at you and made fun of you and me about investing in Bitcoin and XRP for the last however many years. Those people are now about the liquidity from their wallets is about to be in this Facebook coin, and it will be traded side by side with XRP and Bitcoin. And when these people, like I just said earlier, when these people begin to see the prices of some of these that are not stable coins going up single, double, even triple digits in short periods of time, there will be pairs. Libra coin will be paired with some of these digital assets like XRP. And all of a sudden, all of that liquidity that's added to this market that is so small right now is going to happen. I wanted to make one other point. This is the New York Times, folks. Facebook plans global financial system based on cryptocurrency. And I want to make one other point here, folks. This right here, it's happened to many companies in history. It happened, I believe, it happened to Microsoft. It's happened to many big, huge, large companies in the history of the United States. These are the kind of articles that raise the hairs on people in Congress and get companies like Facebook called up to Congress to try to break companies like Facebook up. I don't think that this kind of publicity, this kind of title, I don't think it's good for Facebook. They could call Mark Zuckerberg up there and start talking about trying to break his company up when you start seeing headlines like this. I would not like this a bit if I was Mark Zuckerberg. And don't be surprised if this type of headline gets him hauled into Congress. Don't be surprised. You heard it here first. Then from Neil Duncan, this is interesting right here. Hey, XRP community, here's a full interview with Christine Lagarde on The Daily Show this evening. I'm just barely starting to watch it. Okay, and he's showing, she was on The Daily Show. Now, for those, everybody in the U.S. knows, but for those that are not in the U.S., The Daily Show, if I had to say that one show is where pop culture in the United States goes to watch things, it would be The Daily Show on Comedy Central. And then we're going to tie that in. This is interesting. This is from Guest One. He's been providing some good tweets lately. At Freedom944-29944. And he's I'm not familiar with, I do know who the digital nomad investor is. He's a YouTuber and has a Twitter feed. Go give him a follow at Digital Nomad INV. And you can go, he's the Digital Nomad Investor, and he's got a YouTube channel. I'm not familiar with his XRP manifesto V2 version 2, but apparently his manifesto says that in step 3, look for increased exposure of Christine Lagarde to the general public to increase familiarity. People just have to remember, oh, I have seen her before on TV. She is from the IMF or something. Now remember, Christine Lagarde keeps popping up talking about Ripple, keeps popping up in pictures with Brad Garlinghouse. And that's what they're saying here, is that this is a concerted effort to get her into U.S. pop culture and pop culture around the world. It says, The Daily Show with Trevor Noah. You guys realize he is a comedian, right? What is she doing with a comedian on national TV? Hint, hint, hint. Excuse me. They are making Christine Lagarde become familiar with everyday population and lower income earners. Reason? So that when the global economy tanks, she is that person from the IMF or some global entity that is going to bail us out using XRP. Now those are some interesting thought patterns. I'm not telling you that that's exactly what's going on, but I'm telling you that that is an interesting train of thought. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe and hit the like button and tell your friends and family that it does appear that Christine Lagarde is being paraded out to the pop culture, and there could very well be a good reason for that. Thank you for listening.